What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tarek Ali. Welcome back to your boy channel and everything. I just want to start off by just apologizing for the video backdrop, the light and the shadows on my face. Y'all know I'm not home and my equipment blew up, so we just gonna do what it do and we gonna make it work. Thank you guys for tuning in and for clicking this video, because it is very important that you guys watch these videos. You know, I love that you guys watch my makeup videos. I love that y'all watch my travel videos. I love that y'all watch my videos where I talk about political things. But I love it the most when y'all watch videos and stuff that can help you the most in your life. Today we're gonna be talking about something that most people take for granted. Most people don't really see the importance of it. Some people don't even understand what it is. Today we're gonna be talking about internships. So according to Google, an internship is the position of a student or trainee who works in an organization, sometimes without pay, in order to gain work experience or satisfy requirements for a qualification. But if you ask me, in other words, it's the golden ticket. I'm telling you, you need it, you need to do it. It's important that you do it. And really, when you think about it, a lot of us have already done an internship, but it wasn't really called an internship when we did it. It was called a summer bridge program or summer program or something like that. So this may have been some of you, not everybody, because some are privileged more than others. But these camps that you did as a child are practically the same thing that you're doing now as an older person in high school and college doing internships. It's just that back then you had a lot of time to figure out what you wanted to do, and now you're kind of cutting it on the edge. So I have been doing internships 5 years straight, every year, and in this video I'm going to share with you guys everything that you need to know about them and why you need them. Let's get started. Getting into schools. Yes, internships help you get into schools, okay? I'm gonna talk about it on an undergraduate level and I'm gonna talk about it on a graduate level. So, high schoolers, if you're in high school, it's important that you do internships, because when you apply to schools, they like to know that you didn't just do an extracurricular activity to take up the time that you weren't doing on your homework. They like to know that over the summer, you weren't just chilling with your friends and going to the pool and taking vacations. You actually put time into your work and your career, and they will know that you are willing to do the same thing when you go to their school. They will know that you have a lot of dedication. If you start at such an early age in high school at doing stuff for your career, which will happen, what, 5-10 years later if you're in high school, then they know that you are dedicated, and they know that you will be just as dedicated on your schoolwork because you have so much passion for your career. So this says a lot to undergraduate colleges. Even if it's an internship and something that may not go with your major, they will see that you have put time into something and seeing if it was for you. And maybe you can explain in your essay how you did this, and you were interning over the summer, and you intern here, and you intern there, and they probably might not align. It might be art, theater, and history, and science. Just because you went out there and you said that you were looking for different things so that you could be able to go into a career that you like, they will appreciate that and see that you put the extra time in, other than just playing volleyball after class. Getting into schools on a graduate level is very similar. When you're an undergrad, you have not a lot of time when you are doing all of these college classes, you're trying to make all these credits, and for some people, your parents might not pay. So you might have to work during school or after school or during the summer or take summer classes also. The fact that you are putting the time in to go to these internships and you're putting the time into your career, it lets them know that during all of that time that you didn't really have much time, you actually put some time out to go actually put into your career that may not happen until 3 years later if you're a freshman in college. And most of the time, if you are applying to graduate school, they already require you to have internships lined up. But the thing is, if they have a requirement of 2, make sure you do 4, okay? Never do what's expected. I'm telling you, go above and beyond, because being average does nothing but gives you the opportunity to be able to be cut out, okay? If you're average, that means someone beside you is just like you, and what's the difference between you two? There's not much. It's an average. Always try to go above and beyond of what they ask. If they ask for 2, you do 4. If they ask for 1, you do 3. Help you choose a career. So something you've already heard me say, when you do these internships, you might do them in different areas and different things like that. These internships are like a small glimpse of what your life could be like in that career. When I did an internship, and I did one at Howard University at the dental school, I went and I worked with dentists, and I worked with patients, and I was in mouths, and I was doing all the things that a dentist would be doing. And that would tell me if this was something I wanted to do on an everyday basis, you know? Was it fun? Did I like it? Was it interesting? So then you make the conclusion, yeah, I think I might want to be a nurse. Until you actually do the internship and you go in there and one of your patients manured all over the bed and you have to help them get off the ground because they fell, or you have to put a needle in the arm and the blood goes everywhere and gets on you, and you're like, I don't like blood. You've never been that close to blood. It's so much blood. That's why these internships are important, because it gives you a glimpse of what your life will be like in these careers. It gives you knowledge because you are around other people who are already in the career, and they tell you how they feel and what they don't like about it and what they do like about it. And maybe from hearing their experiences, that may change your idea. Networking. The next point I want to make about internships is networking. I'm telling you, I could also put in this slide is that it gets you the job, pretty much. When you do these internships, you don't just do them to go and leave. It should never just be a go and a leave. When you do these internships, you want to go, you want to shake hands, you want to meet this person, you want to get this person's email. People you're not even working with. When you do these little lunches and you go to these little brunches and you meet this person through your mentor and your boss and stuff like that. Hi, how are you? I read this about you. I looked at your work, or I did this, or I love that you did this. Really? Wow, thank you. Get their email. Next thing you know, you could come back the next year and work with them instead of the mentor you worked for that year. I'm telling you, these networks that you make and showing people that you are interested and where you are is something that is really important to you, and that you are actually putting the time in to stay there. Not just be there temporarily, but you want to stay there and you want to be a part of them. They take that seriously. I mean, I have internships now that I haven't done in 3 years, 4 years, and I could email them and they would consider me to come back another year. I worked at National Institutes of Health for the last 3 years because of my good performance and my networks that I made at NIH. The great thing about these networks are they're forever, okay? If you keep up with them every year, ask them how they're doing, or you know, you're in town, take them to lunch or something like that. Speak to them, you know, just wish them the best, a random email. These networks are something that you always want to keep up. So when you go into these internships, I would really say treat them like a job, especially for the people in college, because when you go into these internships, you know, you don't know where you're going to be working after college. These internships are really supposed to get you into the door as an intern to hopefully become an employee or a fellow one day. When you come back to apply 2 years later, when you finish college, they're like, oh, he worked here before, we won't have to train him, he knows the building, he knows this, he knows that. They'll already know that you have that experience, and they'll already consider you because, one, you did a great job when you first went, they already know you, so an interview will probably be more fun than it would be an interview, and you got the job. So that's why internships, I think this one right here, especially for people that aren't even going to graduate school, is that you can get the job, and the networking it's so important. Skills. If you do a shadowing internship, that is when you just sit there and you watch. But most of the time, they don't make you just sit there and watch. They'll either have you watch this or do this or do that. It's always some type of experience. If they wanted you to just stand in the corner, they would have gave you a tour. So most of the time when you do these internships, you're gonna have better skills when you come out. You're gonna have knowledge on different things. Me, after doing my internships, I know how to do a qPCR. I know how to do a Western blot. I know how to take images on a confocal. I mean, these are things that I can just go on and on. Just from doing 3 years of research in a scientific lab, I just know how to do things that most people my age and most people that just are in college don't know how to do. So it's important that when you go to these internships that you are paying attention and you're putting a lot of effort into what you're doing, because those skills that you use now, when you go to apply that job, they're not expecting you to know how to do a lot because you've just been a student. But when they see that you've done these internships, you could be like, oh yeah, I already know how to do a Western block, or I know how to do this, or I know how to do that. They're gonna be like, wow, you know, we don't really have to tell you much, you know, like you're ready, you could start today. And so that's another reason they love to see that people have done internships, is because you'll probably already have those skills. So those are all the important things that you really need to know about internships. Some additional things you might want to know about internships is sometimes it can act as really a job, because most of the time they pay you and it gives you a stipend. It's not really called a pay, it's usually called a stipend. And instead of working and doing the internship, you can just do the internship and focus 100%. So this makes a lot of people nervous, because then when they apply to internships, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to do a paid one. Like, if I don't do a paid one, then I'm not doing it. Out of all of those advantages that I just told you, honestly, what you should do is prioritize on the internships that pay, if they are just as good as the ones that don't. But if you get one that doesn't pay and you didn't get one that does pay, you should go ahead and just do the internship, because what's more important? Making a little bit of money right now, or not making any money at all when you come out of college and you need a job and you can't find the job, and you're spending all these months at your mom's house with a degree because you can't find the job, when you could have done the internship, got some networks, did a good job, and they're like, oh, you can come when you're done with school. This has happened to a lot of people, I swear. So yes, fight for those internships and do your best on those internships that do pay. And if you can't get one that doesn't pay, take it anyway. I'm telling you, it's the best option at the end of the day, and you can work on the side. If you have a hard time getting an internship and you know it's very competitive and all the ones you apply for, you don't get them and you're like, okay, well then I can't do an internship. There's always an opportunity, okay? This is why networking is important. You can, if you're pre-med, you can walk into a hospital and you can ask a doctor, hey, could I come here an hour a day for 4 days a week and just watch you do what you do, or something like that. If you want to do carpentry, meet somebody who's a carpenter, look on Google for a carpentry company and ask to work for free with them. These are different opportunities that you would consider more so of a shadowing experience, but it can turn into an internship, and it usually is considered the same thing when you apply to graduate schools. They just want to know that you put hours in, you put time into experiencing the career that you are interested in. So it doesn't have to be an official program online where you have to do an application and an essay. You can easily go to someone who is a professional already in that career and you can ask them, hey, can I do this? Can I do this? Do you have opportunities for interns? Do you need an assistant? Do you need this? So I want to thank you guys for watching. I really hope this video was helpful to everybody. I love all my tabies. I'm going to be doing more academic advice because it's about that time. If you need help on another topic, please make sure you DM me on Instagram at itstaeken. It'll be listed below in the description box. Please take a look at the other videos that I have made to help you guys with school and different things to help you in your advancement of your career and your college and your school and everything like that. I love all my tabies. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.